Hey everyone, it's Chime back on another video, and we're back with another account takeover. I haven't done these in a while because I was moving. We're back, and we're going to be doing a bunch of account takeovers in the future. So this one, we're going to be doing a massive mid-game gear cleanse. We have a ton of gear from what he's told me, and we're just going to give you some advice on how to kind of look for the gear that you want to keep and what gear you want to upgrade. And you can see here 1,800 pieces, and a ton of them are just not upgraded at all. And the reason why I'm doing this now is because we just got through that Grell event with a ton of charms. So this hopefully will help you decide what gear to keep, what gear to press forward with. And obviously it's very, very dependent on what account you are at, because the gear we're going to keep on this account is definitely not any piece of gear. Well, some of the pieces of gear I would keep, but most of them that we're going to be upgrading on this account are things that I would not necessarily keep on my main account. And at the end, we're going to try to do some Void Tower stage 60. Hopefully this gear cleanse will help us beat that stage. It is very RNG dependent. So currently, either we're going to have to run a ton of runs with the current gear, or we can just upgrade our gear and hopefully limit those RNG kind of factors down quite a bit. So we're going to jump into it. And if you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get some gear cleanse on. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is go through the gear on the characters themselves. This is super important for every single account. When you're deciding what gear to keep, you have to figure out what gear you actually have, like what kind of gear level you have at the moment. So for example, let's just look at Nathalia here. We have, some HP percentage. We have a couple rolls. This one rolled an attack and crit damage, but it's a HP percent. 5-star boot we're using. A ring here with double defense percentage roll, but other 3 stats are kind of mediocre to useless. So even just looking at those 3 pieces, I can keep going and just check out these pieces, right? Already, I could see some of the pieces are pretty mediocre or to like average pieces. Let's go look at some of the characters that I know that they're using right now. I think they were building up the tank comp, so we can check out Charles here. And we have a double focus roll with resistance, double focus. You can see these pieces like this. 6-star defense percentage boot, double focus roll. That's good enough to keep. It doesn't have really any other stats that we really want. Like, we would much prefer flat defense here, and then HP percentage and resistance if we're using this piece. That's obviously a god tier piece where we have all the stats that we want. But again, all we're doing is trying to figure out where we're at. So we're looking at like a lot of pieces we're keeping are double rolling into stats that we want, and that's good enough. Some of the damage dealers, let's check out those just to see what kind of pieces we're running on our Valeria, our Evera. Running rage sets, so that's already a sign that we are, we need some more crit rate, we need some more good rolls. And we have a triple crit damage roll. This is a great piece, actually, because amulets and boots and rings are harder to find. We have a decent crit rate ring. Immediately, we're using crit rate rings. We want to look for some of those crit damage rings if we can get it. Now, crit rate rings can be as good as crit damage rings, but you need a lot of the substats for the crit damage rings or the crit rate rings to work. We need crit damage, we need speed, we need precision. Honestly, this ring is actually really good, so we'll definitely be looking out for that. We have a decent boot here, actually, with double crit damage and a crit rate roll. Then we have a pretty mediocre chest piece here and a pretty mediocre helmet. And it's actually not as bad. It's a 5-star piece, and it rolled double crit damage and double attack percentage. But because it's a 5-star piece, the rolls are quite low. This is actually a really good weapon. It's got 25% crit damage with 11 speed. Again, it's kind of like as if it was a blue piece because it only has 2 stats that it actually rolled in and that we want. So we're looking at some pretty okay to above average pieces here in our damage dealers. Some of them are pretty mediocre, like this piece right here. So we can definitely improve that. But now that we've got a sense of kind of what pieces that we already have, we can know what pieces we actually want to roll. For example, if we have a piece here that double rolls into, let's say we have this exact piece and it double rolled into health percentage or double rolled into flat attack, we're immediately going to say, okay, we're not upgrading that piece anymore because we need it to be better than this piece if we want to keep it. So we're going to start rolling some pieces here and see what we're going to end up with. We would really love for our avarice pieces to be great because we have Valeria and we have Evera here. So I'm going to give it a little extra leeway on avarice pieces. For example, if it only has a double roll here into crit rate, I'm still going to keep it and upgrade the avarice piece because avarice sets give you so much more value out of Valeria and Evera because they're AoEing all the time. So those get a little bit of extra value onto the sets. And this applies to all sorts of sets that you want to be using. For example, curse sets, revival sets, perhaps, I don't know, if you have some assassin sets or rebel sets, things like that all have innate more value versus something like a rage set or perhaps a faith set or raptor set. Those sets are innately a little bit less valuable because those 4-piece sets are what you really, really want. So we're going to go and just start off with the bottom pieces. I like to start off with the rings or the boots or the amulets because these are the pieces that are most crucial. The top pieces are much more flexible. And we can see these are all the crit damage rings that we have right now. Because we're building for Void Tower Stage 60, I want to start with the damage dealing pieces. And let's see what we got here. So we have this piece. This has 0 substats that we really want. Not inclined to upgrade that one at all. And this one's got only precision that we really want on a crit damage. Focus could be good as well. Then we have precision, speed, attack percentage. This piece is actually really, really solid. Unfortunately, it doesn't have crit rate, but this piece can be very, very good. So I might start with that one. This one also has crit rate and attack percentage. So let's start with our legendary pieces. So actually, let's kind of limit our selection here. So we only have a few pieces with crit rate on them. So these 3 pieces already look pretty good. We're going to look for crit rate. Maybe we can look for some attack percentage pieces. I don't really want to roll rings that only have 1 substat that we want. Again, unless it triple rolls in that same substat, which is very, very rare, it's not going to be necessarily better than what pieces we already have. So I want to roll something like this, something like that, or these pieces here with precision, speed, or things like that. I want double stats that we want because that's the type of account that we're on right now. Now this ring is actually very, very high potential. Assassin sets are very, very valuable as well, as I went over just a second ago. So we're going to roll this, and only if it rolls like once or twice into the pieces that we are the rolls that we want, we're still going to be okay with it. And because of our crit damage rings being so poor, in comparison, I'll just quickly show that actually. We have some pretty mediocre crit damage rings. I mean, this is the only crit damage ring that we're actually running here. So this is actually a really decent one. However, we have no other ones. So I'm inclined to upgrade these ones to +9 immediately. I don't care if it double rolls into a stat that we don't like. And then on the third roll, it rolls into some really, really solid stat. It's still going to be usable. So we're going to be extra lenient here because of the type of account that we're on right now. So we're immediately going to take this to +9. And we're going to hope. We're going to feed all the 5-star pieces. This type of account that's been farming stage 12 dungeons a lot doesn't need 5-star pieces. So roll 1 crit rate and a defense percentage and then flat defense. This piece is actually quite good still. And I'm going to take it to +12 here. And you can see here we have so many charms from the recent Gorel event. And I imagine most of you are in the same place. We rolled another crit rate roll. This is great. This is immediately a +12 piece, or a +15 piece rather. Now, we don't have any locked pieces, so I can't just go through and start feeding 6-star pieces, but we will go ahead and just upgrade this piece. I want to get through the upgrading first, and then maybe I'll go back and start, going through and locking some pieces, because that just takes a ton of time, and it might take a couple hours to go through all the pieces, so I don't want to do that on video, but we'll definitely do the upgrading on the video here. So we roll flat defense to +15, but again, 19% crit rate, 6% attack on this ring. It's actually a ring I'd still use on my main account. Crit damage rings are very hard to come by, and this is an assassin set, so I imagine you'll definitely be using this piece. Very, very solid rolls there. I'm really happy with that one. We're going to roll this one next. This one has the precision, speed, and attack. Now, I'm not going to immediately take this to +9, and the reason for that is the subsets aren't crazy good. Like, precision is good, speed is good, but we don't necessarily want some precision and speed sometimes for the Void Tower, things like that. We don't necessarily need a ton of speed if you're running Windstreaks. Now we have Brand, so we might use this speed more often, and precision is just kind of a extra stat. Unless you're using an arena, you don't necessarily need precision all the time. We rolled max roll on attack. 16% attack is actually really massive. So because it rolled such a high roll on attack, I'm inclined to take this to +9. It rolled speed, so we're going to keep going. Again, if it rolls speed, if it rolls precision, if it rolls attack, those types of rolls we're going to want. So we're going to keep rolling it. And then it rolled another flat defense. So this is where I have to make a decision if we want to take it to +15 or not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it at +12 for now because it rolled another flat defense. And then we're going to try to upgrade some of these other pieces first. Because if these roll quite solid, I believe it's these two. Yeah, so these two right here, if these roll really well, we're probably not going to end up using that legendary piece. So we're going to go to 6 here. Again, if it rolls once into a poor stat, we can reevaluate. So we rolled double flat HP. So this immediately makes me not want to keep this, or not keep upgrading it rather. Because even if we roll triple stats that we want, we still will be on par with some of the rings that we have. And that's very, very rare to ask for. So we're going to move on to another piece here. Go to 6 here. See if we can roll some crit rate attack percentage. So we rolled 1 crit rate and we rolled focus. So normally, this is, I mean, already we would keep upgrading it, but focus is actually something that I like on a few damage dealers. You get some incidental value having a little bit of focus. So I actually like the focus roll. We rolled a second crit rate roll. This is good. I'm going to take this up to plus 12. This is already on par with some of our other crit damage rings. So definitely want to upgrade this again. We rolled attack percentage. This is great. We're going to take this to plus 15 here. Again, if it didn't roll attack percentage and it rolled, let's say, flat defense, I probably wouldn't take it to plus 15 until we've gone through some other pieces here. And so let's just go ahead and take this to plus 15. Hopefully roll crit rate, attack percentage. Rolled another crit rate, so 23% crit rate, 11% attack. This immediately becomes one of our best pieces, if not the best piece that we have. Getting crit rate on our crit damage rings is really, really nice. So now we're going to move on to some of the crit damage pieces that have just maybe attack something or something like that. It doesn't look like we have too many of them, so maybe we have like a speed, precision type piece. The crit damage, we really don't just want to roll if it only has speed. We really want a secondary subset that we're looking for. This is an avarice piece, so I might consider upgrading that later. And this piece is starting to look a little bit more interesting because our crit damage pieces are the way that they are. But we may roll that later on if we end up using that piece on one of our damage dealers for Void Tower. So that's pretty much wraps it up for the crit damage pieces. And in regards to damage dealers, that's really the only rings we care about, along with crit rate rings. So we can take a quick look at crit rate. But if you're going to roll a crit rate ring, it really needs to have crit damage in the substats. This one only has crit damage. I don't really want to upgrade that one. It's the same principle. It doesn't have any crit damage besides these rings, so I'm not necessarily interested in upgrading any of these pieces unless it has like a triple good substat, like speed, precision, attack percentage. So we don't really have too many of these pieces. Let's see here. Again, crit rate rings need to have really nice substats in order for me to use them. Now, this one could be worth upgrading here because it's a crit rate ring. It's got attack percentage and precision, but it's an avarice set. So we may just keep that in the back pocket, see if we want to upgrade it later. We're going to move on to attack percentage boots here with crit rate. We really want crit rate on our boots here. So let's just check these out. This one is already plus 7. This is definitely something that we want to take up a little bit further. It's already at plus 7. May as well just take it to plus 9 here. So let's go ahead and do that and see where we end up. All right, hopefully roll crit rate, crit damage. We rolled crit damage. This is immediately a plus 12 piece. Immediately going to plus 12. And most likely plus 15 actually, because this piece is already one of our best attack percentage boots from what I remember. So we're going to upgrade that to plus 12. Triple crit damage roll. Excellent, excellent. Definitely going to take this to plus 15 here. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think I'm going to go through quite a bit more gear, at least for the damage dealing gear. But as I said earlier, I'm not going to go through all the gear on video here because it'll take, honestly, a couple hours. So we rolled flat HP at the end, but 29% crit damage and a crit rate roll is very, very good boot, and very happy with that one. So this one's crit rate, crit damage. And I'm going to start locking some pieces, the ones that I see have potential, actually. Because it'll help me kind of organize the way I gear. So this one's another double subset that we want. This one is another double subset that we want. This one's avarice, so maybe we can take an extra look at that. Again, another double subset that we want. So now that we went through the crit rate rings, or the crit rate subset with attack percentage, we're gonna look at the crit damage. Again, if it has 2 subsets that we want, I'm interested in rolling it. If it only has 1, I'm not super interested because it's so rare that it'll become good. Maybe afterwards we can try some of these pieces. This is an avarice boot. It's got speed crit damage. Even though it's blue and it's got some low substat rolls, I'm still going to roll that one. So this is what we ended up with. We only have a few pieces, like 4 or 5. And this is just what the name of the game is. You only end up usually rolling a couple of pieces out of, hundreds and hundreds of runs. Go to 6 here. We roll flat defense. We roll crit damage. I'm going to take this to plus 9. If it rolls another flat defense, I'm going to have to make a judgment call to keep rolling it. It rolled crit rate, so don't have to do that. We can just take it immediately to plus 12 here. Hopefully roll crit rate. Rolled crit damage. Perfect. Going to take this to plus 15. This is a great piece. Again, on par with some of our other attack percentage boots. And hopefully we'll roll another crit rate or crit damage here. And we roll flat HP. So that does tend to happen. Again, it's much more likely to roll those flat stats than anything else. We're going to roll up this piece. And now that we've rolled that plus 15 piece, you can just see here, So we need something probably better than that in order to keep this piece. Either higher rolls or something. Otherwise, I don't necessarily want it to go to plus 15. I don't want to use too many charms. So we rolled flat HP. This is looking exactly like the other piece. So you can see here, we have flat HP, we have flat defense, and then we have the same rolls, and it rolled lower than the other piece. So I'll take it a plus 9 here. Again, it has to roll into crit rate, crit damage for me to keep rolling this. It rolled flat defense, so this is immediately a go ahead and feed piece. We don't want that piece anymore. It needed to roll into some of those stats, and I'm just going to go ahead and feed it right now while it's on my mind, so that way I don't have to, remember. And we can go ahead and just take it up plus 7. I imagine I'm going to take this plus 9. This is one of the few speed boots. Ooh, that hurts. We're going to keep rolling because some of this characters we do want to have speed. I did mention that normally you don't want speed too much, but ooh, health percentage roll, or health flat HP roll. This is rolled pretty poorly. I do not want to upgrade this one anymore. And honestly, I may just feed this. It might not be good, even with the speed on it. We do want a little bit of speed because we have brand, so we're going to be running speed on our units, but oftentimes we run speed boots. So this roll resistance. I'm going to keep rolling this one. Hopefully we roll crit rate. Okay. It's harder to find crit rate in your gear than crit damage because crit rates innately have lower rolls. So it's nice to see something like this with triple crit rate. This is immediately more valuable than a triple crit damage roll because crit rate is harder to find, and you want maxed crit rate on your units if you're using them in dungeons. So again, I treat high crit rate rolls much higher than I do something like a high crit damage roll. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade that. It rolled into resistance. It's still a great piece. Still happy about that. We're going to look at that other piece that we locked. It's this one. It has that speed. It has that crit damage. And I'm going to be upgrading some speed boots here because we're going to be using speed boots a lot of the times on our damage dealer. And it rolled double speed. So this is actually a really good piece. This unlocks able to use attack percentage boots with speed substats. And it rolled crit damage. So I love this piece. I don't think, even if it rolls a flat stat here, I'm still taking it at plus 12 or plus 15 here. Triple speed roll. This is a great boot. Immediately taking this to plus 15. This, as I said, when you're running brand, you need enough speed to go ahead and beat the waves out. And so you need to get about that 169 speed number. And so running triple speed roll on the substat with attack percentage boots allows you to run attack percentage boots instead of speed boots. So very happy about that. And now we're going to look at the speed boots, as I mentioned. And because we're still looking for damage dealers, we're going to roll crit rate secondary. And it probably needs to have multiple substats that we want. This is an amazing boot, triple substats that we want. Definitely locking that. And we're going to look at some of the crit damage. Perhaps they have crit damage with attack percentage. Maybe roll those ones. We'll see. I'm not going to lock them quite yet until I see some other pieces that we have. We're kind of really low on speed boots, to be fair. This one is actually something I really want to roll. Now we're going to look for like maybe... I mean, that's really the only boots that we want to upgrade. So we're going to start with these ones. This one has triple substats that we want. So I'm going to immediately take this to plus 9 because it already has 3 substats that we want. So it rolled agility, but it rolled attack percentage and crit rate. Immediately taking this to plus 15. It does not matter if it rolls into on 12. If it rolls into agility or something, I'm still taking it to plus 15. So it doesn't matter either way. Take it to plus 15 and just go ahead and see where we're at. Hopefully roll double subsets that we want. Double crit damage rolls perfect. An amazing boot here. Amazing boot. This one is an Evera set, so even if it wasn't an Evera set, I'd still take it to plus 6. But because it's an Evera set, I'm going to give it a little extra leeway here. It rolled focus. It rolled attack percentage. It rolled flat attack. I'm going to take it to plus 12 and probably leave it there. And if we do end up using speed, or if we do end up needing this boot later on, I'll take it to plus 15. So we'll see, because it did roll flat attack and it rolled focus, which could be good, as I said, but it's not as good as just having crit damage, crit rate, things like that. And I believe that's all the speed boots we're going to be rolling. So let's go ahead and move on to the amulets here. All right, so we're moving on to the attack percentage amulets. And just looking off the base amulets, we have some not a very nice selection. So if we look at the equipped ones, we have a decent one here with 16% crit rate. Another one with 16% crit rate, but that's really all we're getting. And then we have another one that's actually really, really good. Avarice piece with 11 speed, 15% crit rate. This is the event piece. Very, very recommended that all of you had picked that up. And something like this could happen. So very, very good piece there. But after we go through that, we really don't have too many pieces that we want to upgrade. Like this one, I don't want to take the plus 15. This one is the only piece I'm excited about, so we're going to lock. And then we can see here, we don't really have any other piece with double substat rolls. And then we go into the 5-star pieces. So we may actually go ahead and upgrade those single substat rolls just because we don't have really good amulets. And this is something that you have to make a judgment about when you're doing your own gear cleanse. Because we're really light on amulets, the amulets that we do have go up in value, if that makes sense. So we're going to look at some of the crit damage pieces, and hopefully we have a double roll somewhere around here, preferably on these avarice pieces. Nope, not looking like it. Let's see, maybe we have like something like attack or maybe speed and something. I don't know, really. I'm not sure what else we could have that we would be looking for. We do have a couple speed pieces, but honestly, so our amulets are looking pretty poor overall. There's only one piece out of everything that we actually locked. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade that one, see where it ends up, and then maybe later on we might upgrade some more amulets if we're running low. But we really only need to gear out 2 damage dealers for this stage 60. And I highly recommend that most of you do not upgrade pieces that are like mediocre to average. If they have the potential to become above average to good pieces, I would recommend you upgrade them. But because, wow, I rolled it up to plus 14 and it is looking great here. Double speed roll, double crit rate roll, very, very good. And I ended up going to plus 14 because I knew we were going to plus 15 this piece. Even if we rolled a double poor substat or a triple poor substat, we would still roll it. But look at that. Double speed, double crit rate roll is an amazing piece, especially, as I said, we're running brand, so we're going to need a little bit extra speed here. But I wouldn't recommend anyone level up their average or below average to average pieces because you can just go farm the dungeons and look for that above average piece and upgrade that. So because that rolled so excellently on that amulet, we are going to go ahead and move on from amulets and then come back to it when we're actually gearing our characters out, perhaps. And if we need another amulet at attack percentage amulet, we can go ahead and upgrade that when that comes around. So we're going to move on to the weapons here. And the top pieces, you have to be much more harsh with. As I said, we were looking for 1 to 2 good substats, perhaps 3 good substats on the bottom. For the weapons, either it has to be really high rolls on 2 substats or 3 substats, because these top pieces, since we're only looking for substats, you can be much more harsh with them. So we're going to look for crit rate and crit damage on these weapons here. And I don't know if we're actually going to roll all these. We'll see. We should actually go ahead and look at some of the weapons that we already have on our people. So we have a decent weapon here, so that's a really good weapon. Okay weapon here, above average. Then we have again a very average to above average piece. It's an avarice set, which is why we're using it. And then we have a bunch of damaged or tankier pieces. This one is, again, very, very average. If we're using focus, this turns into a very good piece, but there's not a crazy amount of people that use that. And then we have this one on Zatlux. Look at this. It's only a double attack percentage roll and a speed roll. Again, this is the type of pieces we're looking for. So perhaps we actually just look for double substat rolls that are good with high rolls. It doesn't have to be very, very like perfect. So this piece we're immediately locking. It's an avarice piece. This piece we're going to be locking. It's got the focus, which is okay to roll. High crit damage, decent crit rate roll. High crit rate roll, decent crit damage roll. Again, same thing. And again, same thing. So we're going to roll all these pieces. And when we roll to +3, +6, if it doesn't roll very, very solid, we can just move on. But we're going to look for crit rate and then speed as well. I'm interested in those. Okay, we only have 5-star pieces. What about crit rate? Attack percentage. This one's an avarice piece. Okay. I don't necessarily want to upgrade. Okay, this is triple good substats. Too many attack percentage, crit rate. We'll see. This one has a triple good substat as well. This one is an avarice piece as well. So I'm going to skip some of these pieces. I guess we could lock them and just see how it rolls. I'm not going to roll that blue piece. We have too many other good pieces to roll, unless they all roll terribly, and then we can come back for that one. So then we're going to look for just like maybe attack, crit damage. Those could have a couple good pieces here. Look at this. This has really high crit damage and attack percentage roll. So we're going to lock that. We're going to lock this because it's got really high rolls. This one's an Avarice piece, so I'm more inclined to roll that one. Again, this has triple good substats. We're going to lock that. So you can see here, actually, I did not want to lock that. We are being much more strict with our pieces on the weapon. So now we can just go ahead and go through and check out some of these pieces. We're going to look at the legendary ones at the top. Because there's so few, I may just make an individual choice to roll some of these because they have a much higher potential than either a purple or a blue piece. So none of those that we really wanted to roll. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the lock pieces that we have and just go ahead and start upgrading them. So we're going to start with this one, and we're going to take this. Actually, we're going to start with our better pieces. This is a good way to kind of prevent you from using extra gear charms. You're going to want to start with your better pieces. And the reason for that is if the better pieces roll excellently, now you get a new level of gear that you'd want to keep, right? So if this rolls obviously 5 into crit rate or something like that, now you have a piece that you really is an excellent piece, and the rest of your gear requirement or your gear rolls have to be better, or at least on par with that piece. Otherwise, you would just rather use that piece. Double crit damage roll is great. We love to see focused rolls. That's another thing. If it rolls into one stat a ton, it's very solid. It rolled resistance percentage here. I'm still going to take this to plus 12 because immediately this is already better than the weapon that we had on Evera in regards to stat makeup. So triple crit damage roll, definitely going to be taking this to plus 15 here. This is already a better piece for Evera than the piece that we already have on her. So definitely going to be taking this to plus 15. And let's hope for a crit rate. Rolled crit rate, awesome. Excellent piece. Excellent piece. Very happy with that one, even though it rolled resistance percentage. So now we can see this piece right here. Triple crit damage roll, crit rate roll. It has to be somewhat near that level for us to keep it, unless we have multiple damage dealers. But we already have this piece, remember. So again, it has to be very excellent for us to keep rolling it. And we have a triple substatter here, so we're going to roll that one up. Again, I want to start with the triple substat rolls. This one, because it's got precision, is looking more like an arena piece than it would, perhaps be a Void Tower piece, but we'll see. Roll double attack percentage and crit rate. This is an excellent piece and more focused on Void Tower than any other, or than if it rolled precision. So let's see here. We rolled precision. Again, I'm going to take this to plus 15, even if we're not using it in Void Tower because we don't necessarily need precision all that often. It's still going to be used no matter what. I mean, this is a great piece. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see here. Precision is nice in Void Tower. It helps you run the runs less. Roll flat defense on the last roll. Unfortunate, but it does happen. Still an excellent piece in one of our better ones. But let's just see here. Looking for those triple substatters. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this one's a triple substatter, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade that one. Not to plus 9 immediately, just to plus 6. See where we end up. Double crit rate, or a crit rate and a attack percentage roll. Very nice. Go to 6 here, or 9 here. Hopefully roll to the crit rate. Roll precision. Again, not necessarily a PvE roll, but a PvP roll for sure. So we're going to go to plus 12 here. Roll flat HP. So I'm actually going to keep it at plus 12 here. Because this is attack percentage and not crit damage, I'm going to keep it at plus 12 because crit damage is actually more valuable on average than attack percentage. Now, there are some exceptions. For someone like Ciara, for example, attack percentage can be significantly more valuable sometimes, depending on how much you already have. It also depends on like if you have a ton of crit damage versus not that much attack. So we're going to keep going and go to 9 here, or not 9 here, 6 here. And just see, this is an Avarice piece, which is why I'm upgrading this one. Roll double flat HP, so immediately going to be a throwaway piece. We're going to go ahead and upgrade this one. Where's the higher roll? This one's a Raider piece, so this one does have a little bit more value than the other piece that I was just hovering over. And we're going to feed that plus 6 piece. I highly recommend that you all go ahead and feed the pieces that roll poorly immediately. Because otherwise it'll just sit here like, well, maybe you'll use it, maybe you won't. Something like this, it rolled flat defense. I don't really want to upgrade this anymore. Because it has double flat stats, we have a much higher chance of rolling into those stats. Again, later on we might roll that up, but not right now. So we rolled a few weapons to plus 15 here. And because of that, we're going to move on to the helmets because I don't want to use all my charms on one specific type of gear. We're going to look for double substat on the helmets as well. This one, can be a very good piece. Triple substats in a legendary piece is very nice. Then we have another few mediocre pieces, to be honest. I mean, it could be very good. Well, let's look for maybe crit rate attack percentage. So we have crit rate attack percentage. Okay, we'll lock that, try that one out. Okay, triple substat right there. So our helmets are looking pretty poor. This is looking like my main account, actually, because we have some very, very average pieces to, yeah, you know, very average helmets and such. Maybe we have attack percentage and crit damage. Okay, this one was looking good. This one's looking good. It's okay to roll pieces without crit rate. If you can make up crit rate in other spots, like for example, this is why very focused pieces are very good. Because if you have something with like 24% crit rate, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of crit damage, but then you can roll pieces like these and use them on your characters where they have a ton of crit damage and attack or something like that. So these are the pieces I'm going to be rolling. It doesn't have, we don't have too many helmets, so we might open up what we're going to be rolling. Let's just quickly look at some of the pieces we're running. So you can see here a very solid piece there, very solid piece there as well. Then we start to go into, okay, we have mediocre pieces. This one's actually a very good PvP, but because it's got 15 precision, not good for PvE. And you can see here that's where our helmets start to kind of dwindle away. So we don't really have too many good plus 15 pieces. So hopefully we can change that here. Let's start with this one. Again, we're going to start with our legendary pieces because we not want to know what our new kind of maximum gear or maximum gear level is going to be. Roll crit rate, roll attack. So that is the perfect set of rolls. Immediately going to take this to plus 12 because even if it rolls something poor on plus 9, I'm still taking it plus 12. Rolled another attack percentage and a health percentage roll. So this is actually something I would be absolutely willing to take to plus 15. This is as good as another piece that we have on Nathalia. So if this perhaps rolls into crit rate or attack percentage, immediately we get an upgrade. And this is a very solid piece. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade this one to plus 15. Let's hope for attack percentage, crit rate. Rolled crit rate. Perfect. 21% crit rate, 24% attack, 16% HP is actually very, very solid as well. Very, very good piece here. Happy with that one, especially considering our helmets were kind of average to below average overall. I do not want to upgrade this immediately to plus 12 there. That would have been a mistake, but plus 6 here. We go to plus 6. Rolled resistance, we rolled attack percentage. Still taking this to plus 9 because it is a legendary piece. Roll crit damage, great roll there. Gonna take this to plus 12, and most likely to plus 15. We'll see in just a second, though, whether or not we actually want to take this to plus 15. So we're gonna remove some of those helmets. Hopefully roll crit rate, hopefully roll attack. Rolled another resistance percentage. So because we rolled double resistance percentage, I don't necessarily want to upgrade this to plus 15. Plus 12 is good enough. It's still usable, and I don't really want to risk, even if it rolls crit rate or attack or crit damage or something like that, there's going to come along a helmet that's going to be much, much better. So maybe at the end of the day, we might upgrade that one to get a little bit extra out of our helmet. But we have so many other helmets here or a few other helmets here that we want to upgrade. And that will definitely be replaced in the future with something better. So we're going to upgrade this to plus 9. Because even if it double rolls into a poor stat, we have 3 substats that we want. Double crit rate and attack percentage roll. Very, very excellent here. Going to take this to plus 12. If this rolls into a flat stat, I'm not going to take it to plus 15. If it does not, it rolled defense percentage, so this is something that I might take to plus 15 no matter, because it rolled percentage stats, and percentage stats are still very, very solid, even on your damage dealers. But I'm not going to take it to plus 15 here, because we have a few other helmets to roll, and I don't think it's good enough. Again, the weapons I was more likely to take to plus 15, because we're looking for damage dealing pieces, and the weapons give you extra attack, and are very, very helpful in taking to plus 15. Because these are HP, or flat HP on the main stat, they're less valuable than the weapons, but still valuable. So double crit rate and attack percentage roll, very, very solid at plus 9 here. Taking to plus 12. Same thing goes with the chest piece. I'm very, very much more harsh with those pieces. Not going to take this to plus 15 right now. Again, we're still, even though we had an absurd amount of charms from the Grell, farming and all that, I'm still going to be, mindful of our charms because, again, we're going to go back after we beat stage 60. We're going to farm a bunch of dungeons. I'm not going to upgrade this one to past plus 6. It is a blue piece. The substats are innately lower. We still want to conserve our charms. It does not matter if we have 1,000 charms right now, because those go by very, very quickly, as we are seeing here. And let's look for that blue piece that was +6 just now, because we do not want to have that piece. Where is that piece? Again, I want to feed these so I can get them out of my sight sooner. Rolled attack. Okay, so we're going to keep rolling this one. Hopefully roll another damage dealing substat here. Come on, come on. Rolled focus. Okay, so this one I'm actually going to take the +9. Again, there are select few characters like Melissa, Ciara that want that focus. Roll for that defense. Stop at 9. Keep it there. That's going to be it for the helmets. We're going to move on to the chest piece here. We're going to go ahead and go crit rate, crit damage. Go ahead and start locking some pieces. Let's just see what pieces we're already working with though, with crit rate. So again, a very mediocre piece here. This one's a very solid piece. It's an Avarice set with triple good substats and a triple roll and a crit rate. It is a blue piece, so we definitely can get better, but very, very solid piece there. Double crit rate and a crit damage roll and attack percentage. 4 good substats here. This is worth a +15 in my opinion because it's got 4 good substats. And then we have a double precision, double crit damage, crit rate. So this is a very good piece as well, but it's more PvP focused. So honestly, pretty average to a little bit above average chess pieces that we do have, but we don't have a lot of them. And they're actually focused a little bit more towards PvP. So this piece is probably not good enough, actually. This is probably just not a good enough piece. So I may just feed that right here, but let's see here. We're going to lock the Avarice piece, of course. Triple good subset, we're going to lock that one. The Avarice piece we're going to lock again. And let's see, do we have another good pieces with 3 good subsets? So this right here has actually a good subset array. And I just want to explain this. 5-star pieces have a lower max potential for substats. So let's say you would roll triple into crit rate. That's probably going to be the same about if you roll double into a crit rate on a 6-star piece, which is why I almost never upgrade 5-star pieces. Just to give you an example there. I'm actually going to keep this because it's got triple percentage stats. Let's start looking through crit damage and like maybe attack. So we have this one. We have this one I'm going to lock. They're Avarice pieces, so I'm more inclined to lock them. This one's a legendary piece, so I'm going to lock this one as well. And then I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to lock this one. And then maybe we can look. I think that's good enough for now. Let's go ahead and roll some of these pieces out. We're going to start with this one. It's got the triple substats. We're going to use that chess piece right now. Or if we actually, we're going to wait till we can +15 something. We're definitely going to use that because I don't think it's good enough compared to the chess pieces that we already have. So we're going to go and feed all these pieces here. Crit damage, crit rate, perfect. What's this piece doing? Okay, definitely not good enough anymore. Definitely not good enough for that piece. So we're going to take this to +12. Again, we have 3 good substats. It already double rolled into substats that we want. So even if it rolled poorly on 9, we would still take it to +12 here. We rolled attack percentage and precision. Okay, immediately +15ing this. Excellent rolls. Hopefully roll a crit rate. Hopefully roll crit damage. But again, excellent rolls here. Very happy with that. Go to +15. Come on, let's see here. Crit rate roll. Excellent piece. Very happy with this. It's in a Raider set too, which is just a little bit, even just better. Actually, I probably should have fed that piece as I said, but we're going to keep rolling here. So again, this increases our maximum potential for gear. So we are looking for very, very good pieces now. Like here, this is not good enough. I'm going to keep it because this piece could be like a Gorel piece here with HP percent, defense percent, more bruiser type pieces, but it's not something that we're looking for right now. So I'm going to keep it because it can be very good for specific characters, but not for the characters that we're using currently. So we're going to take this to +6, and this applies to a lot of different types of gear, but I highly recommend that you don't just level up gear because it might be good on someone else. Only look for the pieces that you're looking for at the moment. So this one did roll flat HP, but it is an Avarice set, so we may actually roll this one because we still need Valeria in an Avarice set if we remember what she was running before, which is the Rage set. So if this rolls a flat HP or an Agility, okay, roll flat HP, so I'm no longer going to level this one up, and it's probably not good enough anymore. Again, getting that Avarice set's very, very important, but not to sacrifice as much substats as that. So we're going to go ahead and use that piece. Where's that +9 piece that we just upgraded? Was it? There it is. So we're going to go ahead and feed that one to this. Don't want to see it. Double crit damage roll. So now this is already better than the piece we had before. So going to upgrade this one to +9. Even if it rolls flat HP or something like that. Rolled flat attack, which is actually not a terrible roll. It's not the greatest here, but still not bad. And definitely not going to use that piece, so we're going to feed that one. +12 here. Rolled flat attack again. Okay, still good, but not +15 worthy in my opinion. And we're going to look at some of those crit damage, attack percentage pieces that we had locked. Okay, so we're going to start with this one here. And hopefully roll, you know, maybe double crit damage, double attack percentage, something like that. Rolled attack percentage, flat attack. Okay, so we're going to take this to +9 here. It's very similar to our previous piece. We're just going to need to make up crit rate in our other pieces. Another attack percentage roll. And I am going to +12 this, but if it rolls into flat attack or another flat stat, I'm not taking it to +15 for sure. Roll flat attack. Okay. Because attack percentage is less valuable than crit damage, I'm less likely. If that rolled double attack crit damage, I might consider taking a +15. So here we go. Crit damage and attack percentage, exactly what we wanted. Gonna take this to +9. And let's see what we got here. Another flat HP. I'm still gonna level this one up because technically this is just as good as some of our purple pieces because it's as if we didn't have that other substat. So legendary pieces are innately more valuable in that way. Roll defense percentage. It's not a great roll, but it's good enough to keep. And I'm not going to take it to +15 though. Gonna go ahead and upgrade this one to +6. If it rolls double flat stats, we're not going to upgrade it anymore. Roll attack percentage and health, flat HP. So we're going to still take this to +9. Hopefully roll crit damage, hopefully roll attack. Roll flat attack, going to keep it at +9. It's not good enough anymore. So that's pretty much all of our damage dealing pieces. And I think that's really all we had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start gearing out some of these characters. And then we're going to see if we actually need to upgrade some of the pieces that we passed on because they weren't quite good enough. So because we're going to be using Brand and Tia and Valeria and Evera in this Void Tower Hard 60, I wanted to upgrade some of the tank gear, at least HP percent across the board and some speed boots. And as well as all those crit rate, crit damage with focus is actually really excellent for Tia. Getting that little bit of extra damage is actually perfect for her. So that's one of the characters that I would recommend getting focus on. And then the crit rate and crit damage. So all those pieces that we thought were, maybe we'll use them, maybe we won't, we'll actually definitely be using them on Tia. So we're looking for speed here. And something like this is actually perfect. Focus, resistance, and health. Let's see if we have anything else better. So we're going to look for speed. We're going to look for focus. And we're going to try here. Preferably, we're going to look for more defensive pieces. Okay, so this is a perfect boot. Defense percentage, HP percentage, and focus percentage. And we do want +15 boots on Brand here because Brand is actually a very slow character in general. Another great one, defense percentage, resistance, and focus. And let's just see here. This one has focus and health percentage. So let's upgrade this one because it's got 3 good rolls already. So let's just take this to +15. Again, we're going to want +15 on Brand because we want them to be at least like 180, 190 speed. Because if we're getting all of our damage dealers, we want a little bit of leeway. We don't want them all to be like 169, 170. We want Evera to be faster than Valeria. So we want a little bit of extra leeway there. Defense percentage roll, perfect. Let's go ahead and move on to the health percentage rings here. And we're looking for focus. We're going to look for speed. Hopefully we have both those. Okay, so these are the only 2 pieces that we have those with. And I'm going to upgrade this one to +6 just to really quickly see what we're at. +6. Maybe we roll double speed or double focus or something like that. Roll crit damage and flat defense. So definitely not going to take that any higher. So let's see. Maybe we want speed and maybe we have like defense percentage or something like that. And there we go. We have an avarice piece here. We don't really care about sets for Brand. Brand is so tanky anyways. Doesn't really matter. Double defense percentage roll. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and take that to 9. Hopefully we get speed. We did roll speed. Okay, perfect. So let's take that to +12. And I oftentimes take my damage dealing pieces to +15 while to keep my tank pieces at +12 because you oftentimes don't need the little bit of extra defensive stats. So we're going to go ahead and lock this. I'm probably going to go ahead and use it on Brand here. It's still a little bit better than this because it's got that 8 speed. So we're at 161. You can already see how much speed we actually need on Brand in order for us to go first. We're not even at the point I'd want my damage dealers at. So double speed roll here. Okay, I'm definitely going to take this to +12 just to see if it rolls into speed or focus. Because it's got 13 speed, those are very high speed rolls. It rolled flat attack, so we're going to keep it at +12 here. I'm going to try this piece instead. Still very, very, very usable. Raider sets are the way you're going to get to that high speed numbers. Double focus. Okay, very good piece here. Very usable. We do want about 90 to 100% focus on Brand. I'm still going to take this to +12 because it did roll double focus and it did some decent rolls there at about 8%. Triple focus roll. Okay, very, very solid. Very, very usable still. We're going to level up this one as well, but only to +6. In this case, avarice pieces in health percentage main stat are significantly less valuable. So something like this is actually not very good at all. So we're looking for speed, and we're maybe looking for defense percentage, last type of piece I want to upgrade. This one has agility actually, so a little more inclined to upgrade this one if it does roll into agility. But again, it's avarice, so avarice is very, very useless on someone like Brand, so not as good. Did roll defense percentage, did roll agility, did roll speed, so still overall a very, very useful kind of conglomeration of stats there. Double speed roll. Okay, so now we have that, and then we have this piece. We're actually going to use this piece because it's got 13 speed on it. We might use this one because it's 30% focus. We'll see what our Raider pieces are looking like, to be honest. They've ran out a lot of ash here, so very, very, very interested in seeing the pieces. We're looking for HP percent, we're looking for speed. Hopefully we have focus in there as well. But this one, both these are looking very, very good. Okay, so this is the absolute perfect piece. I'm going to go ahead and knock these both. So we're going to roll them. And these other ones are not looking too hot. So we're going to go ahead and roll this one first. It's got all the subsets that we want. And what does this piece look like? Triple speed roll. I'm still going to keep that one because it may be useful later on. Go ahead and upgrade that to +9. Double health percentage roll and a focus roll. Great rolls for someone like Brand. Brand wants a lot of HP, so he's sharing that big shield to everyone. Double focus roll, double health percentage roll. This is something that we definitely have a chance of using. If we're running this, we're going to need to figure out another Raider set on the second and third slots. So we might roll that other piece before we move on. All right, so let's go ahead and roll this one out. It's got the defense percentage. It's got the speed and the health percentage. So we're really looking for speed mainly and health percentage. Double speed roll. Excellent, excellent. 13 speed. We want Brand as fast as possible. That way we have as much potential for changing up our gear as possible. Also, if you have speed boots in your damage dealers, running Brand in arena is actually very, very viable as well. And we can go ahead and stun out someone or stun out Windstreaks or something like that. Double defense percentage roll. I'm tempted to use this one because it's got to a 12 speed, but really it really depends on what our other pieces over here are going to be like. Let's look at our Raider pieces. We do have a lot of Raider pieces because we're running a ton of Ash, so I'm not surprised if we have another an HP percent focus piece, and we do. And so let's go ahead and upgrade these ones and see where we end up. Again, we don't care too much about defense percentage, although it's a nice stat. The reason why I don't really care about it is because Brand's never going to die. He stacks so much HP with that HP shield. Unless you're using him in arena, which a lot of people do, he's not going to die. This did roll agility. It did roll flat defense, but because it rolled agility, this is a very good stat makeup for someone if you're going to use him in arena. And it did roll double flat HP, which is a little unfortunate, but we're going to go ahead and upgrade this one over here. Try to go for that focus, try to go for that HP percentage. Roll agility and HP percentage. Very, very solid. Go to +9 here. And let's see. Rolled another agility roll, so we're going to take it to +12. And for helmets and for chest pieces, I'm actually much more likely to +15 those. Over the weapon for tanks and stuff, but overall I don't really +15 my tank pieces either way. So we didn't really roll too great here. We don't really have a great options. Maybe we have something outside of Raider set. See, it's HP percent focus. This run is an excellent piece. So is this one. So now we're looking at some pieces, and we actually have some very good options. For example, this piece, and not that one, and not that one. So we have these three pieces that we want to upgrade. Let's just go ahead and look at our HP and focus pieces over here. We have this one, which does have three good substats. This one is very, very excellent. So I'm inclined to run that extra speed on the weapon, if we remember correctly. This has 13 speed, I think, right here. Where is the speed? Oh, it's right here. So 194 speed should be good enough. Should be enough leeway. And now we can go ahead and upgrade some of these other pieces because our Raider pieces did not roll very well. So this is something also when you're gearing out characters. Because we don't have great Raider pieces in the helmet and chest piece, we need to find the speed in our weapon and the other pieces. So now we have 194 speed across the board. If we had really good Raider pieces, I might have run that one with higher HP percentage on the weapon and then made up the stats in the Raider sets. But because the sets were just so poor, we're going to go ahead and upgrade some of these. I'm going to take this one to +6 here and see where we end up. Roll resistance and focus. Very, very solid, but I don't know if I care about resistance on Brand at all right now. So I'm going to go focus, hopefully HP percent. Okay, double HP percent roll is perfect. getting that little bit of extra shield on the rest of your damage dealers actually matters a ton, because 10% of Brand's max HP could be like a 3,000 HP shield, which is actually, you know, perhaps a fourth of a damage dealer's health bar. So let's see here. We're going to roll up that one. That one rolled really well. Rolled agility, it rolled health percentage and focus, which is all what we want. Defense percentage and flat defense. I'm going to take it to +9 here, but if it does roll flat defense, it's not going to be rolled up any further. Rolled focus, we're going to take it to +12. And you can see here, we ended up using a lot of our charms. We're used to 3/4 of our charms here. It rolled very, very solid, but I think this piece is just a little bit better. Where is it? This one's a little bit better. I think this one is overall better. This one does have the defense percentage, which I'm going to lock. And this one, not great, but this one just has high HP percentage and the 13.5% focus. So we're a little low on focus here, but we have overall really, really solid stats. We got that 22k HP, we have 194 speed, and we have a decent amount of focus. You really want like 90 to 100% in Void Tower, but because we're dealing with wood character here, 80% is plenty. So the next person we're going to be gearing is Evera, and I would say Tia first because she has much more of a stat requirement with that focus. But because we want to run Avarice sets on all three of them, Tia, Evera, and Valeria, we're going to be looking for first on Evera and Valeria because they matter more for their damage. We're going to try to run attack percentage boots here, but we need about 169 speed. For Evera specifically, we need about 172, 173 or something like that, so that she's in front of Valeria, because otherwise Valeria may kill someone early and Evera's not going to get that double proc, or the opposite would occur, and that is Evera is going to not do the damage before Valeria can go, so she's not going to get that extra turn on Valeria. So we're going to look for crit damage. Here we have a lot of crit damage rings that rolled really, really nicely here. So we're definitely going to pick up some of those. I would use this one, and we may end up having to because of that 8 speed, but we'll see. We're going to look for attack percentage here with crit rate. And we have this one with 12 speed. And I can already tell that unless we're going to get the... well, actually, we have this piece with an Avarice set, so maybe we still could. We're going to need a lot more speed, though. We're going to need about 30 more speed. So I think we just ought to run some speed boots here. And because Valeria is actually, I believe, like 10 speed faster, if I remember correctly. Let's just check real quick here. Oh, no, she's not quite 10 speed faster, but have we finished off the speed glyphs on Evera? We have. So she's 5 speed faster. So we may not actually end up being able to run attack percentage boots at all, even if they have really, really solid speed rolls. We're going to go back and we're going to look for speed boots here with crit rate. Okay, so we have these ones. These are the best ones we had. I really, really like those ones. We're going to run that one. We're going to look for crit damage here. We're going to look for crit damage, crit rate. We have this one. Very, very excellent piece. We can also run this one, but this one's just better. So we're going to run that one. We're going to look for attack percentage with crit rate. And we have this excellent piece with speed. So we can run that. Not worry about the speed too much. And it's an Avarice piece, which is what we really want. Now we can start looking for pure Avarice pieces. So we have this excellent one early on. This one has a little bit of speed as well, but maybe we can run this one on Valeria. And we're going to look for the other Avarice pieces here. Maybe we do run this one, give her the Avarice set, and lock that in. Let's see here. Is there any other piece that we might want to upgrade? I'm inclined to just use this one. It's got such good rolls here. We're going to look for this one. We're going to keep going with crit rate. We're going to look for the Avarice set. Again, unless it's like an atrocious Avarice piece, we're going to be using it. This one has that crit damage. Not great. What about here? Crit damage. So they're not a very good helmet, but we don't have very good helmets in Avarice set. Let's see this one. Triple crit rate roll. That puts us at 98.5% crit rate with 179 speed, 3.4k attack. It's honestly not amazing. However, maybe we should upgrade one of these pieces with only a single... Okay, we actually have this piece, and this one could turn out much, much better because we have just atrocious Avarice helmets. So let's see. We rolled crit rate. I'm going to keep upgrading this even though it rolled into defense percentage. Hopefully roll another crit rate. Hopefully roll another attack percentage. Rolled defense percentage again. I'm going to roll it up to 12. Again, we have pretty atrocious Avarice pieces here. So looking for attack percentage, looking for crit rate. Very nice. Rolled that crit rate. And we can see here we have the choice between this one, 14% crit rate and 7% attack, or 14% crit damage. and 7% attack. So maybe we could roll something else. Let's see. Maybe we can roll with, this one has that crit rate and crit damage, but this one has crit damage and attack. This one has that crit damage and crit rate. This one has attack, not super great, but maybe we just roll with this instead, because we're going to miss the 1.5% crit rate, which should be okay. We just have to run the battles a couple times, but we do want as much stats as we possibly can get, and eventually we can replace that helmet and the chest piece later on, and then maybe we can get some avarice pieces down here. But overall, 179 speed with almost 100% crit rate, 273% crit damage, and 3.4k attack is actually excellent. I'd actually recommend, if they got a potion soon, to dump a potion into these attacks for Valeria and Evera. I did it myself on my alt account, and I don't regret it at all. It's very, very useful. So now we can run Valeria here, and we can run her, hopefully with that avarice and speed kind of situation with attack percentage. So we're going to look for attack percentage with speed. We have this one with the avarice set. Then we can go here, we can run crit damage, and hopefully we have speed. We have these two pieces. This one has 9 speed. So in this situation, I'm actually going to upgrade this one to 15. It does have the precision, it does have attack, it does have speed. So we're going to upgrade it to plus 15. It's still an excellent piece already, but you need to have a character that really wants speed. And so running in this character, whoever's using this ring here, needs to want to have speed. So to roll the precision, very, very good arena piece. Probably not going to run it here. This one has that crit rate and speed, so we're going to go ahead and run that. Try to run attack percentage with speed here. We don't really have many. This is the only one we have, I think. Let's just see. Yeah, this is pretty much the only one we have. But 153 speed, we're actually getting very, very close. Do we have a very, very high speed? 13 there, 11 there. We have this one with 4 speed. So we're not going to be able to run avarice, and if we want Valeria to go first. So maybe we change up our strategy here. And do we have any attack percentage avarice pieces that we are hiding? No, we do not. So do we want attack percentage, or do we want avarice set? We maybe not even be able to use avarice set at all if we don't really have a good avarice piece. This one is a good avarice piece though, with attack percentage, focus, crit damage. But maybe we use that for Tia, and we just try to get attack percentage piece here. We can try to run something like this with Raider and just make it up with Raider sets here. That's a very viable option as well. Hopefully we have a good crit rate Raider piece. Over here, we got crit rate. We have this one, attack percentage, crit rate. These ones are so good though. I think it's just better to go ahead and roll with, actually we have this piece with crit rate. So now we have 154 speed, so we need to make it up somewhere else. Do we have a crit damage ring that's Raider set? We had that one. Not quite. Okay, so I think we're just going to have to run speed boots. I think that's where we're at this point. Really no other option. So if that's the case, we might be able to run this amulet to get the extra 15% attack from that set bonus. And we might not need the extra speed, but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to go ahead and run speed, crit rate. Hopefully we have crit rate. We don't really have, but I don't think we actually need too much crit rate. If you just go ahead and roll with this piece right here, maybe we don't have to, but we can roll with this piece. Let's just roll with this one. Wow, this is difficult. Crit damage, focus. It does not really great crit damage, but it does have the 16% attack. Let's roll with that. And we don't want that much speed, so we're going to go ahead and remove that ring. We're going to go crit damage again, and we're going to find one without as much speed. We're going to go ahead and run this one, Assassin set. Perfect. And then we can go crit rate, and we can just run this one. Not that one. We don't want speed, so maybe this one right here, 11% crit rate. That puts us over the cap and gives us a lot of attack. Not as much crit damage as I would like, but still very, very solid. Maybe we have like a crit damage, crit rate piece here. So this one is crit damage. This one is crit damage, crit rate. That is the warrior set. Maybe we have something like this. Okay, so we could run this, or we can run the raider set over here. So let's just see which one's better. So if we equip that one, we'd go -1 crit damage. So it's basically the same. this one is a little bit better. So we did end up getting that one done. And we're glad we didn't upgrade to plus 15 because we have 170 speed here on Valeria. And then we have 174, 179 on Evera here. So we actually might be able to go back in and change up our gear a little bit, squeeze out a little bit extra damage. Because I believe we had something like this, right? Yeah, we had this. And we could go ahead and run that chest piece that I saw with crit rate right here. And let's see where we end up there. We end up losing a little bit of attack. It's about the same. So we're just going to go ahead and keep running this one. And then last one up is going to be Tia. And this one is going to be the easiest, I think, because we don't really care too much about a bunch of damage on her. All we really want is for her to go first, or after Brand, rather. We're going to look for crit rate. Maybe we have a crit rate piece here that's really excellent, with focus preferably. Let's look back at our crit damage pieces. This one had crit rate, this one had speed. Let's go ahead and use this one. And let's go see if we have attack percentage. What attack percentage things do we have left? This one has the crit rate, resistance. This one has crit rate, health, crit rate. Okay, so we don't have really a great focus piece, and we do need high focus. But we're going to go ahead and use this one. And then we're going to look for speed. We're going to look for crit rate. We're going to look for focus. So this one's got double focus. So this is actually a great piece, and I'm going to plus 15 this. This one's an excellent piece. So let's just go ahead and do that. If it rolls into attack, if it rolls into crit rate, if it rolls into focus, if it rolls into crit damage, speed, it has so many good rolls. Rolled into attack percentage, great, perfect. So now we need a Raider set here. So let's look for Raider set, and let's look for focus, because we really need focus. This one has... we don't really have great Raider focus pieces, but maybe we have another focus piece here. Not really. So now we need to find extra speed. So I don't think we can actually run these pieces. I don't think so. Actually, we could plus 15 the boots here, but do we want to do that? Do we want to plus 15 these boots? It's got the focus. Do we have like another speed with focus boots? We have these ones with attack percentage and focus. The boots that we have on currently are like pretty mediocre for Tia. We rolled attack percentage and focus. That's excellent. The reason why we need to plus 15 the boots is because we need a little bit more speed. Another attack percentage roll. These are turning out to be the perfect boots for Tia. Hopefully roll focus, hopefully roll attack percentage, roll resistance percentage. I'm still going to take these plus 15. We're not going to end up using these anymore. These plus 15 boots are no longer usable by our damage dealers. We need 6-star pieces if we're going to be tackling some of this type of content. Go ahead and do that. Rolled resistance again. That's okay. 189 speed, just below Brand, and then we can keep running what we needed to run. It's just we need focus, we need crit rate, but these ones have double focus roll, attack percentage roll. It gives us that completed warrior set as well. I'm going to run that because we need focus. We absolutely need it. Let's go ahead and see if there's any other focus pieces with like actual damage stats that we want. So this one, although it's mediocre, it does have that crit rate, does have that focus. We get 90% crit rate or a focus. We have 82% crit rate and a decent amount of attack. So very, very solid. So now that we're done gearing out everyone, let's just go back and go ahead and go over our stats again. So we should have Brand going first with 194 speed, 22k HP with 82% focus. Then we have Tia going with 3.6k attack, 189 speed, 90% focus, 82% crit rate, and 200% crit damage. Then we're going to have Evera go with 179 speed, almost max crit rate, 3400 attack, and 273% crit damage in an Avarice set. And then I believe we have Avarice. Okay, we don't have Avarice on Valeria. We have 3.7k attack, 103% crit rate, 226% crit damage with 170 speed. And now we're going to go ahead and run this. Hopefully do it on the first try. We'll see. So here we are, and this is the team comp we were running previously. Nathalia could be an excellent option here for us because she's got the 4 ascensions. It actually could be easier to build her out over Valeria. And we could probably use attack percentage boots on Nathalia since she doesn't really care about an Avarice set at all. And then we were running Wind Strikes before. Now, the crucial adaptation that we made is because we have Brand. Brand has that extra attack percentage up 2. Or attack up 2, so we can run speed boots while also losing a little bit of attack because we're still getting a little bit of attack from the substats on the boots, but now we get that little bit of extra damage from Brand. So we're going to be running this, and we're going to run this exact comp, and I thought there was an XP boost active. Had to shut it off if there was. But let's go ahead and run this. And you can see the waves are going to be significantly easier with this comp because all of our characters are going to be going before the waves. And this is also an excellent comp for Arena because a lot of people don't expect your damage dealers to be at 180 speed. So you oftentimes can cut in between Windstreaks and the rest of the damage dealers, even without having Windstreaks on your own squad. So you can see here, everyone's going before the waves, and this just becomes super, super trivial. We just wait for Valeria to go, and she can just ult the waves. Hopefully, that is. Maybe she doesn't have enough damage. If she doesn't have a damage, we'll have to spread out the damage a little bit more. So we did end up killing one of them, and then we can just finish them off with the second skill. Okay, that one did survive, but they're going to hit Brand, so it doesn't matter. This actually was better because Valeria is actually able to heal up her second skill. So I'm just going to let this go through. We're going to go ahead and get to the second stage. We may have to run this quite a few times. I'm not sure. Depends on the RNG that we get. We still need to rely on Tia to freeze and then Lightwing Zac to not get a bonus turn. If you saw my previous video with Trigger Happy John, that one actually ended up taking like 2 to 3 hours to make sure that we got the proper RNG, and he had better gear on his account than we do here. Now, we also didn't necessarily have the Supreme Luck that we do right now, right? But Evera's going to go take a couple hits here. No big deal. We're going to go ahead and just get to the boss fight. I'm going to show this first run, and then if we end up doing a ton of runs, I might show a couple of the fails, but it could take quite a while for us to beat this, so we'll see. Let's go ahead and pop the ulti on Brand. We're going to let Tia use the defense down here because they are water or Blackthorn's a water character, so going to go ahead and ult with Tia. Got the bonus turn on Zac, so immediately looking like a struggle, but we're going to go ahead and rage anyways and just see what kind of damage we're dealing to the enemies here. So we actually really just crushed through Blackhorn, but Lightwing Zac got a bonus turn on every single hit, and he's going to full heal. So this is what we're going to have to deal with. We're going to have to wait till Lightwing Zac does not get a bonus turn out of the freeze from Tia. So we're going to have to run this quite a few times. And I'll be back when either when we fail a bunch of times or when we finish this. So here we are, we're on attempt number 3. Go for the freeze on Light Zac. Hopefully he doesn't proc out of it. And let's hope we freeze everyone. I mean, to be honest, oh, we did. So now we just need, what we need is for Lightwing Zac not to proc twice. If he procs twice, there's no chance. If he only procs once, we have a chance still. Okay, he only proc'd once, so now we just need to make sure that Valeria has enough damage to kill off Light Zac here. Unfortunate, he got another bonus proc from the Brand counterattack, and he gets to kill off. So that is the struggle there, and it's going to keep happening until we make sure that either Lightwing Zac doesn't proc twice or he stays frozen. We just kill him right out the gate. All right, so we're moving on to attempt number 4, and let's go ahead and see if we're able to win this one. Gonna have to have Light Zac not proc out of the freeze. Same story as everything before. Proc out of the freeze, we can go ahead and keep going, but it's very, very unlikely to impossible to actually have enough damage to kill off Light Zac. Unless he, like, literally never procs, which he just did there. He's going to go ahead and ult Evera, and it's over. So, definitely need that proc, or not proc on the first turn. Back to another attempt. Alright, so here we are. I think this is attempt number 9. It's starting to get a little bit of fuzzy because I've been doing so many. But, bonus turn, and it's over. This is pretty much how it goes. There's really 2 checks we have to make. First, we have to make sure that Zac is CC'd whenever it goes. Otherwise, he's going to have that plus 50% defense, and then not the additional 50% damage from Tia. And then we have to make sure that he doesn't proc twice from the attacks that he's going to do until Valeria goes. So we have the ult from Evera, the bonus attack from Evera, and then we have Brand's counterattack because he's most likely going to hit Evera here. I think it's based on the current HP percentage. So if we have Brand less current HP than anyone else, I think he'll hit Brand, but you know, that's unlikely to happen. So again, we need those 2 checks to happen. Make sure he doesn't get any bonus turn, which is, you know, a pretty hefty task, but it is doable. It just takes a little bit of time. So we're going to keep going on the attempts and see if we can beat it. Okay, so I believe this is attempt number 11, and I'm not sure if Valeria's going to have enough damage to kill off Light Zac here, but I think we might actually have the damage. It's only 3k damage. I think we got this. Yeah, so we killed off Light Zack, so now this becomes very, very interesting. We can go ahead and try for the basic. The second ability doesn't do any more damage than the basic, and we can try to get defense down, which we did. Now, Niklaus is going to kill off Evera, which is fine. It's a little unfortunate, but that's fine. Hopefully, she's going to kill herself, which is, again, that's fine. Try to go for the taunt on CC here. We did get the taunt, so now we can go ahead and try to apply some more freezes to her, or frostbite, rather. We're going to go ahead and base again, try to refresh the defense down duration, which we did. So this is looking quite nice. We're going to have to try for another taunt on CC. So this is getting a little sketchy. If we had Evera here, it would go much better. But now we can go ahead and just basic and get the for sure frozen. And we're going to have to hit CC anyway, so we may as well just go for the heavy hitter, try to ult, get some big damage. CC does go ahead and attach. So this is starting to get a little sketchy, very, very sketchy. And we're probably going to lose, to be honest. You could see here, it's very, very difficult to be able to win this stage. And once you get past that first initial check, there's still a few other checks that you have to go through, including making sure that CC stays dead, Evera's not getting hit a bunch. And then you have this happen where if Evera dies, which she did because she got crit, we don't have the damage to get through CC. If we had Evera up, we probably would have been able to win at this point. But because we didn't have Evera stay alive, this ends up happening. So gonna go ahead and base double hit here. We woke up Niklaus, and that's pretty much the end of it. So Evera died, and we ended up losing. So if Evera doesn't die, we can go ahead and remove that defense up buff, and then we can also hit CC harder. And also, if CC does end up attaching, we still have a chance. If Evera was still alive, we could have done more damage. So gonna go ahead and run that again, see if we can get to that same spot as we did. Okay, so I think we're on attempt 16, and we have an interesting scenario where Lightwing Zack just didn't wake up from the freeze after all those hits, and didn't proc a bonus turn. I'm gonna go ahead and hit with Valeria. We should have enough damage to kill Light Zack here, and then we can move on to the other two back here. Again, it's gonna be an RNG fest, so hopefully we get the defense down here. No defense down, but hopefully Niklaus doesn't kill off Valeria or Evera here. He did not. Okay, so this is potentially a very, very good scenario. We're going to go ahead and try to go for the taunt on CC here. We did get it. So now we have an interesting scenario where we can remove the defense up on CC. Hopefully. Come on. We did remove it. We're going to get the bonus attack. And then we're going to go ahead and proc the basic. Hopefully we get the defense down. No defense down there. Niklaus is going to go ahead and ult. It's probably going to kill off Evera. It did not. So this is very, very hopeful, actually. Let's go ahead and try to go for another taunt on CC. We did not get it. We're going to get the freeze here. So now the question is, do we save our attack for Valeria or not? I think what we do is just go ahead and basic Niklaus and hope that Valeria does not wake up CC from this freeze. It's crazy the RNG required. We did not wake her up, so this is probably going to be a win here. Our Evera is going to die, but at this point, Brand should have a good chance of, between Brand and Tia, we should have a good chance of winning this. So now we can go ahead and focus Niklaus, because Valeria will kill off CC, and this will be a success. Attempt number 16, significantly better than my previous times. However, it still is a huge hassle for sure. This is just what stage 60 is all about. I mean, realistically, it's very difficult for anyone to beat this stage without running it a few times because of the way Light Zack works. We're gonna go ahead and ult on Tia here. Doesn't really matter. Niklaus is gonna go ahead and die. There's no way he can survive here. And this is gonna be it. So stage 60 is done. It took us 16 attempts. Really only took me about 20-25 minutes for me to do 16 attempts. It takes about a minute per attempt. The waves are really easy, and if Lightwing Zack procs out of that first freeze, it's over. Or if he doesn't get freeze, it's over. So very RNG based stage, but we're on to 61. Hopefully that will help out Neva here. I think the rest of Void Tower will honestly be a breeze for the most part. If we need to run a couple of stages later on for Tia to get the right freezes and such, that definitely can be a hassle. But honestly, he has the tank comp built out. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to build out Nathalia real quick. to make sure that she's successful in the Ice Wolf comp. It may not be possible without taking gear off these characters. I'm not going to go ahead and gear out the rest of the characters. I'm going to leave some gear for him to upgrade because he's running low on charms. So I'll let him decide whether or not he wants to upgrade some more damage dealing gear or maybe just farm out for some better gear. But we're going to need the crit damage ring here with that speed because we need a little bit of speed on Nathalia. That should be good enough. We're going to go for attack, crit rate. Going to go for as much crit rate as possible. We could go with this one here. This one's got a bunch of attack. Attack, again, crit rate as much as possible. This one's got 16%. Because in order to run this comp, we absolutely need as much crit rate as possible. Maybe we can even run a crit damage piece or a crit rate piece and have enough damage, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, just more crit rate if possible. The most amount of crit rate we can get. This one's got 17, perfect. And then we need 17%. That's 17%, but that puts us over the speed cap. So we have perfectly 100% crit rate, but now we have too much speed. So maybe we could find something else here. Maybe we can go like attack with crit rate. These are the only pieces we have available. That puts us at 92%, which is not quite good enough. Maybe we have attack with crit rate. Oh, maybe we'll just have to run a crit rate ring here. This one is solid. So is this one. And then maybe we just run the most amount of crit rate, crit damage that we can get. So we can go attack, crit damage. This has triple crit damage roll. Perfect. Attack. This one has triple crit damage roll as well. So maybe we reuse that one as well. And we can go crit rate here. This one's got that 15% crit rate, but maybe we can go with something else here. We don't want speed. This one has crit rate, attack, and precision. So let's run that one. And then we can run a crit rate here. Hopefully we have something decent. Well, we don't, let's see, maybe we run something like this. We do want a little bit more crit damage. Maybe like crit rate, crit damage. This one has crit rate, crit damage, 6% crit rate. Not quite enough crit rate here. So we're just going to go with something like this. I think this should be fine. 4200 crit attack with 59% crit damage and the proper amount of speed. This should be good enough. We're going to run that. And obviously you can plus 15 this weapon if he wants to. And then we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and go through all the gear and lock the pieces that I think are worth upgrading. And then I'm going to give the account back to Neva. So that'll be it for this one. If you do want your own account taken over, be sure to join the Discord, message me, and I will try to add you to the list. I add pretty much everyone. It's just a matter of when I can get to you. Because I've been moving, because I've been doing all this stuff, I haven't been able to do account takeovers regularly on stream. So we have had less account takeovers done. So that'll be it for this one. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It was a long one, and I'll see you for the next one.